What's up, Austin? Hey, I appreciate it. It's early morning for me. Oh, you gonna sleep? All right, no problem. We'll have a good sleep. Hope I'll catch you around. Oh, thank you. What the fuck? Thank you for helping me. What's up, Daniel? Oh yeah, there's no refinery in that hex, but you know what? I spent like all my time in this one. It's just all the scrap fields were completely wiped out, so now I'm just transporting my stuff to the refinery over here. Which is honestly fine because all the factories are over here too. So now I could use this to make like M-sups, but I'm not really making maintenance supplies over there because I just wait the 18 hours in the mass production factory queue, which is fine with me. All good. Makes it way cheaper. I'm stocking up right now for our naval defense port that we're going to start constructing. It's not really about the scrap though. It's more about the it's really about the aluminum and iron, but the fields have not been producing anything in these two hexes. It's been really bad. Terrible drop rates. what it is. I've mined almost like 40,000 scrap now. It's brutal. Very little aluminum's been dropped. But I want to get the gunboats unlocked, not just prototypes. And tanks, because I'm mainly a tanker. And I do like gunboats, but I'm mainly tanks. This is just brutal for me right now. Armored cars are pretty garbage on the Warden side, so I'm not using them. I scraped one field hours ago. Got 200 iron. Where are you scrooping at? Our fields in these 2 hexes are terrible. I've gone to like every single one the past 3 days, just tried every single one. I know it's like an RNG sort of thing, but like none of them drop like any iron. It's all aluminum. It's awful. Yeah, our fields have not been that great. But it's whatever. Alright, let's, ooh, we got a lot of explosive powder. Let's keep that going. Crumbling Post in Callahan's Passage. I see. I think yeah, I'm pretty far out from there. I don't mind going over like one other line, but oh well, whatever. I could go north, but it's really not benefiting. I think these 2 are just... They do give aluminum, though. They all give aluminum, no iron. But some of them, once in a while when they respawn, they give like they give, not a bunch, but like, I'll say like 40 aluminum. Or sometimes 80. So, I did get, 2 days ago, the first fiddlers to the front line, which was huge. I got 4 crates to this one area that we thought was going to fall. All the guys were using them, and we just actually took some land back. So it was a huge win. No one else was supplying logistics to that area. Actually, there was one dude, but he only did like 1 delivery. I just kept going back and forth. I was delivering like AA guns, 12.7, tons of just submachine guns, hundreds of grenades, medical supplies, shirts, dozens and dozens of shirts, just everything. My front that I've been playing with is Farinac Coast, but I usually try to choose a front and stick with it, because if you try to go to too many, I've noticed, you don't know what's going on, and you're kind of like, okay. Everywhere's got like their own tactics, their own group that tries to fight, and so you can kind of anticipate certain things. This one has a broken bridge. This one's actually repaired. This one's, but no one uses it because it's completely blocked off with pillbox almost, so it's impossible to cross. This one's broken, so everyone's just going back and forth in the water. It's really fun though. There's a little cliff face that if you go around back and climb up, there's bushes all around it, so you can hide in the bushes. I got a few kill streaks just sitting in those bushes when the medics would come by, when the soldiers come by, just popping enough, two-shotting them with decent rifle. So, pretty funny. It only worked because not that many people knew about the that little flank. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have made it. Oh, these are all full. These two. Let's try this one. This one has nothing, so let's try the other one. You do any fighting, or are you mainly Logi? I do a lot of Logi early game, and then once the more like stuff that's my play style comes out, I just go hardcore with that. Like I first day stockpiled up 450 armats. I currently still have 400 on me, so then I can get my tanks and gunboats and shit right when they're unlocked, so I can just start a blitzkrieg. Stuff that's actually good. I mean, you do both, yeah. I think you have to. We have a mass majority of people in our clan. They only do one, which is Logi, and it just burns people out. It just like they just get just war. It's such burnout if that's all you do. You don't have fun with some other stuff. You're just gonna be like, because it's just never ending war, and you just don't see the fruits of your results and don't get to actually like the way that I play is I have to be I have to produce my stuff, and I have to be the one to physically take what I'm producing to the front line and sometimes be able to use it. If I'm not at least, yeah, it's just a game, exactly. Like, if I'm not taking my stuff to the front line and having fun with it, and like seeing the product, the results of like what I'm making, you're gonna get so burnt out because you're just gonna feel like you're farming, 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 just like nonstop to not do anything else. It's gonna create such burnout. Because exactly, it's just a game. Like it's gonna the war's gonna reset. It's not like I mean I know some people here that do this like a part-time job. Like that's how they have fun with it, is they just farm and farm and farm and farm. But they do get super burnt out. So like man, I don't think that's a good idea. Is this the good one? This is the good one. Although I will say, things would be way more efficient if everyone didn't try to make their own private facilities and stuff. Like, everyone tries to have their own private facility, and it's just like, bro, that is just, it wastes so much manpower and so many materials. All of our stuff that we make is all public, every single thing we make. But I remember even day one, there were so many clans that already had private facilities, private bases. I'm just like, dude, this is such a waste of manpower and such a waste of time, and it just clogs up the map. Yeah, exactly. Private facilities everywhere. They all want concrete, I know. My plan is I'm setting up MSUP so I can make along the coast. We're gonna make a dock and then howitzers to do naval defenses because I'm sure that eventually they'll come up the coast and start taking land as a defense port. But just for fun, because I want to do it. It always kind of sucks doing the beginning building because you have to use a hammer and a shovel and you're just sitting there for like an hour just trying to get the basic layout. But then once you can use a construction vehicle, it's way more fun. You can actually do stuff. Yeah, my plan is we have to do it by a beach. So my group's right here where we're doing our whole public facilities and stuff. So I plan on doing it right here. I'm gonna make it right here. and have the howitzers facing off on the beach. And we're making our dock right here so we can get our gunboats and stuff. So it's still pretty far back. I think, well, it's very possible we end up losing this. It could be one of those things like last war where it never falls because people just don't craft the bridge. It's possible. I really wanted to build on Partisan Island because we went over there the second day and helped people build like a bunch of shit, and it's such a cool island. It's so cool. It's like perfect to defend against naval attacks. But I think this is a better spot. Like a final defense before going into here. Anyways, if they do get further up the river, it's kind of bad to put it like that. I mean, it would be wise, realistically, to put it at the mouth of the river, but really you have no defenses up there, so it just kind of gets steamrolled once we get our first destroyers. Because since in like a day, battleships and destroyers are going to be unlocked, you just know the big factions are going to start hammering those out. So I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to put it right there. I'll put it in the river where it's actually a strategic pinch. That way they can't just back out. So I'm saving up like hopefully a few thousand M subs, just putting them in the mass production factory and just letting them ride. And then once my queue's filled, I'll make some and like something else. I want to use the MPF first though because it's such like if you max it out to 9, you get like a 50% reduction rate on your costs, so it's great. Fortunately, once we tech this next tier, we get sledgehammers, so we can do away with the awful, awful regular hammers. I've noticed more and more people have stopped grouping. They're burnt out from the hammer, which I don't blame them. Especially now there's harvesters. It's slowing down our process because people just collect the scraps from the harvesters when, and so they're not getting the tech mats. Yeah, it is. It's within the next tech. It's a side benefit. Like it's one of the extra things. So if people actually go out to the fields and use the hammer instead of the harvesters, then we could have it by the end of today. But I don't think it's going to happen because I think people are starting to just use the harvesters because they're sick and tired of scooping. I've scooped like 3 whole fields myself, like all the nodes in a field. So I understand the how time consuming it is and how painful it is. But like if you don't do it, you're not going to get to have fun with the other stuff later. So I just do like one field like a day and then like for right now and then I just log off and then I come back and I just let my stuff sit in the refinery and stuff so I get like a bunch of gunpowder for my tanks and my mortars for my boat. I let the MPF do all my MSUPs for my facility, because it takes hours anyway, so might as well just let it do that and play something else. Are you guys trying to is your group, or I don't know if you're part of a group? Oh, dude, we lost so much shit in Stone Cradle. I think we can take this back once we get tanks, but I understand that this was a huge loss. Because if they take this, they can attack on all these fronts, and then we're fucked. But I think we have a chance. It is ours, dude. I know. I was listening about that last night, both in Callahan's Passage and Stone Cradle. I heard both of them have like hour queues. I couldn't do that. I'd just go to a different region. I'm not that dedicated. Or I would just do art while I'm waiting. Sometimes when like I'm wait was I was can't speak. When I've been waiting in like component lines and mines, like there's lines because there's hours for components. It's hour lines because there's no sledgehammers. I just do like my art while I'm waiting. I just draw because I'm like it's gonna be like a 2 hour wait while I'm here. Yeah, it was yesterday. There was a big fight, and I think we ended up losing a lot of ground because our guys couldn't get into the queue. But it's also because they have tankettes and we don't have anything yet. So that's like I said, that's always it's just inevitable that was going to happen. Once we get tanks, we can push them back. But they get tankettes and we don't. That's just something we don't get. The first thing we get is a scout tank, which doesn't even have anything above 12.7. King Spire is good, but you need at least the King Gallant, however you want to pronounce it, Gallant tank. King Gallant tank. Until you get that, we're not going to be able to get rid of their tankettes. Honestly, I think that's pretty bogus. I'm new. This is my second war, but I think that's bogus. I think both sides need to have tankettes. That's ridiculous. That one side gets to like tank techs. No matter what, you get tanks before the other side even gets a chance. I think anyone, no matter what side you're on, would agree that that's pretty ridiculous. We also like just got our first anti-tank bazooka weapon, so we just got it. So we didn't even get a chance to really fight back. It's not for lack of scrooping or anything. So I think after this, I think that's enough gunpowder for right now. Probably won't be. Let's see, it takes 120 gunpowder for either a 30 millimeter, 40 millimeter, or 68 millimeter. Or no, it's 150 for 68 and 40 millimeter. So 300, and you've already got 2 rounds. 2 crates. Wow, I do need more gunpowder. Shit. Well, there's not really that they're doing anything more than we are. It's just like I said, they get tankettes before we do. Well, we don't even get tankettes. We get scout tanks, so they get a whole class of stuff before we even do. So I don't really think that's like there's nothing we can do better to counter that because we're all kind of advancing at the same rate. It's not really both sides have a lot of scrappers, so it's not really for a lack of trying. It's the same cooldown. Once a field's gone, it's a 2 hour wait. So it's not really like for both sides. It's not really like one side's doing something better. Although, like I said, I think things are slowing down because people will just want to use I've seen multiple people who used to screw. They're just going to the harvesters now. The harvesters because they don't want to manually do it. Which the downside is they're not getting tech materials now because they're not scrooping. So what's up, Cat? Welcome in. Most likely win this one. Yeah, I mean, if you guys take I think if you take Fairnet Coast and Stone Cradle, you could clear out. Well, they're building up some pretty good defenses along here because I've been helping with that. But if you get the destroyers and stuff, you could totally take out Fisherman's Row Orebreaker, Nevish Line, Callum's Cape, and the Moors, and Mercy, and you could just win. You could win the whole war because you could just, cut these off. So I think that's very possible. What's up, Steve? It's rough. Yeah, I heard it's pretty rough. Scooping, I kept seeing people show up to look for free scrap. Yeah, I mean, if you're only there to produce stuff, then a lot of people are just looking for free scrap. It depends on what your purpose is. For me, the scrap is just a side benefit while I'm getting like tech mats. Because if I wanted to, I could just go up to most of these places and grab all the free scrap that's just sitting in containers and do this like 10 times quicker than what I'm doing right now. But that's not my goal. I just want tech mats. Yeah, I think colonials have some pretty cool stuff. Like I like the look of your guys' armored car and tanks, and your trucks I think look cooler. Um I think the Silverhand tank looks cool. I like that one. I think it looks cooler than the Colonials tank equivalent. Um but I think you guys have like a lot of models that look just like in my personal opinion on how I like the look of stuff. I think some of your guys' models look a little bit cooler. Buckler is doomed. Playing last 8 wars, I have a question I want a warden to answer. What do you think about aircraft being put in the game? Oh, I'm fairly new. This is my second war. The last one was my first, so I'm new to this game. So this is it. My personal opinion is, and this is just me from since I play a lot of games like Hell Let Loose, which doesn't have aircraft. Um, I played a game called Enlisted for a long time. I play like all the Battlefield games. But I like a lot of like more slow-paced mil sim, World War I, World War II stuff. Um, my opinion is I think aircraft could be fun. However, I think if they're gonna add it, it should be biplanes. Because this is a inter-war game, and there's not really the capabilities to take it down. We don't want air superiority. Like you want air superiority, but you don't want it to be so OP. So I feel like if you did biplanes like in World War I and interwar, like the early ones, where it was just mostly um like you had someone in the plane that could drop like grenades out of it or flares to spot enemies. The machine guns really couldn't do anything if you're since the way the game's not first person, it's like it's like a aerial third person. Um But I think that kind of stuff where it's like dropping, or maybe like one bomb, like maybe there could be one bomb in the cargo hold, but you can't hold anything else. I think that could work. But I don't think like anything too OP, because then you just annihilate everything else having a chance in the game. I would not want to see like World War II type planes. Yeah, countering aircraft, well, it would make the AA guns have additional use. The problem with guns really is that, or planes, is that the game isn't really made, and I'm new, but I can already see the game's not made to like look up. That's why if you hold like a high ground, like a hill or something, you have a huge advantage against people on the bottom because you can't really look up or down that well. You can just look down a little bit. So, sorry, my dog's going crazy. I hope you guys don't hear that. Let me close the door. But even if you were flying, you wouldn't be. I don't know if you guys ever played this game called Empire at War. It was in 2008. One of the first games that was kind of like this, that was like massive skill warfare. It was a Star Wars game, and they had this exact same kind of play style with guys and stuff like this. So the aircraft, when you flew them, could not go up or down. They couldn't change their altitude. It was just left or right. So that's basically what it would be. You wouldn't be able to go up or down. You'd be able to only go left or right, like in circles. And They were, of course, like, more AI controlled as far as the direct shooting went, so it didn't really matter that you couldn't look down. That's why I only foresee, like, doing, like, dropping one bomb or, like, throwing stuff out the window with, like, little grenades or something, or more flares, because there's no real way to counter it. So, like, as a player, you can't really look up. They'd have to redesign their whole game. So, because I played games with that mechanic in aircraft, the only way to counter it was you had to build like AI towers or something, because the game is designed so that the player itself can't adjust their own shooting altitude, since it's a horizontal based game, XY, but no real Z. Or sorry, XZ, but no real Y. Yeah, probably no dive bombers, because you can't adjust your own altitude. If they wanted to do all that stuff, they'd have to completely redesign how players can look up and down, and you can't do that unless it's a first-person game. You really can't. Which is what makes it's a specific play style, right? It's a certain mechanic style, a type of game, and it's really cool. It comes with its benefits and limitations, and that's one of its limitations is it's when it comes to something like aircraft. A blimp, a blimp would be funny, true. So you could do a blimp if be okay. So you could do a blimp, and the way they would work is the only way to take it down would be to build AI AA guns. Yeah, you could do a Zeppelin, so you could do AA guns that are AI controlled, not player controlled. And basically it would be you'd basically use the blimp and rush it in, and it would inevitably die, right? Because the AI are gonna hit it. The whole point is how much damage can you do until you run out of health? That's kind of how it would have to work, is like, unless you back out, but it would have to be you're always going up against AI, like AA towers, and not player manning it, because you can't look up on the y-axis. So that would be kind of cool, because Zeppelins could have 3 250-pound bombs. Top of the blimp, hammering it with B-mats. Well, no, you wouldn't be able to repair it because there's no way for the players to counter it. It would have to be AI, like watchtowers and stuff. Not watchtowers, but like AA towers. Which is exactly like, see, these kinds of games were the way that this mechanic was actually kind of popular in the early thousands and 90s, where they had this kind of play style. And it was always AI that would be shooting down planes or something. It wasn't you. You had to build defenses that would shoot them down. You couldn't shoot them down. So you had to kind of stay close to your AA towers when you knew the enemy had aircraft. Where the wheel and the computer mouse can aim up. That is true. That is true. They could try to do that. It's just really difficult to tell where exactly you're aiming at, though. Especially if there's a Zeppelin. Like, for one thing, we know the camera can only zoom out this far, like a game design thing. So, can the blimp only be as high up as, like, this tree, the top of this tree? Because that's as high up as it can go. And if that's the case, it's only 20 feet up in the air, 25 feet up in the air, which Zeppelins are way higher. So, if you were in a Zeppelin, then you would have to have a separate camera, which is way higher up in the air. And based on the game design, we don't even know, like, because everything's contained within a box within the atmosphere, and there is a limit, right? So we don't even know how high up. Yeah, we don't even know how high up. Right, the AI can view higher. The thing is, we don't even know like how high up
Yeah,
the
because
actual
150.
y-axis is in this game.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm
So
doing
it's possible
V-Buds.
that the camera is actually hitting the ceiling of the game. It could be that in the playable area, the camera's hitting the ceiling. It can't go up any higher. In which case, if that's how they've designed the game, then the Zeppelin can't go any higher. Which would be, and the reason why I think that could be a problem. The only problem I would see with it, I think it's still cool, but the problem I foresee with it is the Zeppelin would be big, right? So it would block the entire view of everyone that's underneath it. Like, how do you not block the view of everyone that's underneath it? Right, you can see farther. Seeing further is not the problem. It's more, how do you not obstruct the view of people that are underneath it while still being able to see if there's a Zeppelin above you? There's no problem with battleships doing that or destroyers, but there's kind of a problem with aircraft. Because in the old games that use this kind of play style, the aircraft were always made small enough that it wouldn't obstruct your full view, because they knew that was the only way for you to be able to see it was if it completely obstructed, like if it was over your player. Yeah, same way on the submarines. Like, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the submarines can't go underneath the destroyer or battleship. They're just submerged, but they can't go underneath it. They would collide with it, right? I haven't played with them, so I'm not totally sure, but I'm pretty sure they just collide with it. If you tried to go underneath, you couldn't. You just ram into the ship. You can see through the ships. So can you go underneath? If you're a submarine, can you go under? You can't go underneath. Okay, yeah. So that would be the same comp. Oh, they can. They can go underneath. Oh, you go under ships all the time. What's that, bad guy? They do go under. Okay. So if they go under, that would have the implication that a submarine is always lower on the y-axis than a battleship or destroyer is. So how do your torpedoes hit the ship? When you shoot, does the, like, after you shoot, does the AI adjust the torpedo on the y-axis to go upwards? Oh, I'm sure you can because of how the voice chat works. That's funny though. Like, how do you adjust how deep your submarine is in the water so you make sure that your torpedo hits the ship? Like, how do you do that? You can't set the depth. Then how do the, if you're, that's weird. Kind of. It must be that see, if it can go under, then it must set the condition that the torpedo, when it spawns, is set on a specific y-axis. That way it's always hitting the ship. Yeah, it has to be like that. That must be how they did it, because otherwise it would go underneath the ship, and you wouldn't, because you can't set it yourself. Hmm. I don't know. I'd have to see when I try it. Yeah, homing torpedoes are a depth of 10 meters. Oh, you can go down. It blows up under the boat. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Does this respawn? Oh, it did. Let's go to this one. Yeah, so you could use the same. So you could probably, as long as the skybox isn't blocking it, you could go up further. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it could work. I just know that like a lot of people when they reference the planes, they're talking about like the kind of Easter eggs they've hidden, which are like the down planes around the map that you can see. They're not biplanes though. They're like actual early like World War II looking steel planes. And I think that's what people are looking forward to, not really like a Zeppelin or something. That kind of mechanic I could not see working because of how do you counter that with all the problems we talked about. But I could see the Zeppelin working, yeah. Yeah, the cannons can see higher and further. You know, the Zeppelins in World War One were more like AA cannons, and they aimed downward. They didn't aim at like I mean they could go horizontal, but they mostly aimed down on targets. So it could be like the 30 millimeter cannons we have in the game that have like an arc that shoot down just like mortars do. I could see that. Like you can't aim straight, but you can only aim down. Yeah. That'd be cool. You'd have to have a lot of people to man a Zeppelin though. You'd have to have like we said, like 15 or 20 people, which would be fun. Just like a destroyer frigate, like a lot of people. Yeah, it just depends though, right? Like you'd have to build like there'd have to be different tiers for the steel plane versus like a biplane or something like the early ones. Like to not like I mean to do more damage. Not they couldn't damage them, but like to do more damage against like the steel one that they've shown so far. Yeah, it would have to be a bunker emplacement would be the AA thing. And maybe like, the pillboxes that you can build, maybe there's like uh one of those as a 12.7 millimeter that isn't like super, I don't know, super powerful. The cool thing about like the biplanes in World War One, a lot of them were just used for spotting and not really dogfighting and bombs and stuff. I mean, eventually late war, a few of them were used for bombing, but a lot of the early ones were used to like throw flares and take images of the enemy lines. That's super helpful at night, I think. Like in war, like if you could fly over and drop flares, you can see enemy position. I see the planes being super useful for reconnaissance. So you could go behind enemy lines if they don't have AA cannons, there's no way to counter them. And they can just fly over and see like what your bunker bases look like, where your logistics are. That would be so helpful. Yeah, mobile AA guns. Yeah, I guess you could have a truck. You can't control it, right? And it won't shoot anything that's on the ground. But the AI will like, if it's within a 30, I don't know, 50-meter range, and throw bricks, it'll shoot at them. All right, let's drop these here. Let's see that one. The real one. It's not. Wait, do I not have? I have 13 commends. How come it's not letting me commend people? It's been having this issue today. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. It just can't be one of those things where it makes everything else obsolete. That's one of the worst decisions mistakes you can make as like a developer is when you make everything else obsolete. then it ruins your gameplay mechanics for everything else. Yeah, I commended people earlier. I got like 7 or 8 commends out, but yeah, no, yeah, I know there's a lot of things they've added. Which I think naval warfare was a really great update. I wasn't playing when it first came out, but I think that when I heard that that didn't exist, a lot of the boats and stuff, I think it's really cool they added that because it gives so many more options for people to different ways to actually assault. Their name in chat. Yeah, I know it does if you do it in chat. Here, let's see. Some of these guys, it's not letting me. Some of these guys have already commended a lot, so I don't know if that's why. It could be the reason why. Not totally sure. Oh, you're sergeant now? Nice. I'm WO2. I guess WO1 is the next one. It didn't really mean anything though, because a lot of people are really high level. They just run stuff to bunkers, so it doesn't mean they're technically like a really skilled player with gunplay and stuff. I just kind of just like whatever. I just chill and just watch what people's gunplay is on the battlefield. Oh yeah, with the barges. I love the amphibious assault landing craft that no one really uses. That's just cool. I think if there were more focus on like the isles, if the isles, like the islands had better stuff. Actually, this aisle right here is really good. These ones, component mine, component field, another component mine. I think there's even another one. That one's really good. Those aisles are amazing. Uh, yeah, I mean, it would depend, right? That's kind of like how though, like right now, the colonials get tankettes, and we don't like have anything really to counter it. Like first, I mean, we did just get prototypes of the bazooka, but like or the cutler or whatever. But like, you guys get like a whole class of like actual tank before we get anything. Which I mean, it is what it is. But I'm sure it's like the same concept, right? The Jade Code. Uh, where is this? I'm not familiar with everything, so I have to look. Where's that? Is that over here or something? I'm not really good with the map. I've only fought in a few places. Oh, damn, you guys are moving up right here. Yep. Oh, yeah, you can grab it.
Do you want me to leave it open? I'm leaving.
Oh, you can leave it. She's just been laying in here, so I just folded it in.
Thank you. Mom's in the hospital. She might be there for a couple of days.
Okay.
They're waiting and growing, I guess, a culture because they can't figure out why the antibiotics are not.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll see you later.
Sounds good. I agree with you. I agree with you, bad guy. Yeah, I don't. I mean, technically, this is the what is this? The relic base. As long as you have that, you get the whole region. But I know we have like I guess you have some defenses. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know where Jade Cove is. Mm, I see Hangman's Court. Do you consider, well, based on where are you considering this the West Coast? Never eat. Northeast, southwest. Because this is west on the map. What is this W? We'll just post like random shit. Here's Westgate. Oh, here's Jake. I see it. I see it. Yeah, because you guys got a seaport. Is there a refinery? There's a factory in this region. 3 town bases. But I don't see a refinery. Um, well, there's not one here either. What the? Bro, there's not one here either. Oh, no, there is way down here. And there's one here in Cinderwick. Man, you guys got 2 do we have 2 refineries right next to each other? We have one here, one here. Yeah, we do. Tyne. And there should be one in here. Cuttail Station. One here, Great Warden Dam. There's Reaching Trail. We have a lot next to each other. Oh, you hate them? I think they're pretty useful. Let's see. Let's look up, here, let's switch over. Uh, Foxhole. Oops. Foxhole tankettes. What do you guys even have? This is pretty useful though, considering that we don't have any. Like, you could steamroll with these. Let's see. Well, yeah, they're good at the be. Well, they're gonna not gonna be great later on. A 12.7. Okay, you already get the 12.7 machine gun, so that one's good. What's this one? Flame ammo. So that's good for trenches. The Xeon. What is this one? You guys got a 30 millimeter. You got a 30 millimeter, man. That's good. I mean, I get like, it's not greatly protected, but we didn't even have bazookas available. So like you could have steamrolled. Yeah, the rocket fire is pretty good. I've seen late game. Yeah, I see this one too. This one's pretty good. I do like I do think this one's good, the 30 millimeter. I've engagements with this with the King Gallant tank, or however you want to pronounce it. It's got an equivalent cannon. See you guys have these, and we don't even have our freaking equivalent of a scout tank yet. So pretty brutal. But it's what it is. Yeah, the rocket one. That one shoots all rockets, right? Like you got like the fire rocket, the like the AP, the AC RPG or whatever it's called. There, I don't know. I don't know that many about rockets, but I've just seen the. Let me see. Does it say the ammo? Hold on. Let's see. They won't let you put. Okay, that's stupid. See, that's why I don't listen to people. That's such a dumb decision. You should totally do that. That is such a That's why I don't listen to people. Just go for it, man. Go for it. It's not even a joke. That's stupid. I would not listen. People who think that, they're making dumb decisions. All they are is players just like you behind a keyboard. That's actually stupid. Okay, let's see. Oh wait, where's the one that we wanted? We wanted the rocket battery one. What can you shoot? Oh, here we go. You get the AC fire rocket. Oh, this one's really good. I think it's a gamble. I totally disagree. Totally disagree. Um, 15 per minute. Reloading after each shot. Salvo of 9 in 3.2 seconds. So you get like basically two salvos. Let's see. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I like this one. It's pretty devastating on like bunker bases, but not as much infantry. It's just really depletes your BMATs if you're not getting them constantly delivered. I think it's pretty good. I remember encountering these a few times in the last war. Yeah, that one's definitely worthwhile. I like that one. Yeah, that's a dumb decision. Any like actual military strategist would be like, you have tanks, you refuse to use them while the enemy has no mobility. That has gotta be someone with just dog shit IQ. Compared to the rocket trucks. Oh yeah, there's the wait, is that our rocket tank that has like the on each side it's got like 3 containers for rockets or something? It's something like that. That might be ours, but it might be yours too. I can't remember. For the scout tank. There's like 3 on each side that can fit several rockets, so it's like full salvos. I don't know. I don't know all the tanks yet. I know some of them said been fighting, mostly tanking. But I still don't know them all. But yeah, the rocket trucks are really good. Anything that can deal mass damage, you're gonna want that. Especially with the mobility. They're slower compared. I mean, true, but if you use a proper formation, you're not really gonna have to worry about losing them anyways. To the rocket tankette. Right. The thing is that what's nice about the tankette is that you have a little bit of armor, so you can take a shot just in case you want to, because it's not that far of a range, just like any tank. So if you want to kind of rush up real quick and shoot a salvo and fall back, that'd be the right play. Give a little bit more armor. And you can move a little bit quicker to retreat. It mostly gets, yeah, rocket car. It mostly gets dangerous once like the ATRs, the anti-tank rifles come into play. This doesn't just disable you real quick on your tires or tracks, whatever it uses. I think we've maxed out. There's no real. Oh, we've almost maxed out. Let's say there's nowhere to like hold the. Well, I guess that guy's got a train. There's nowhere to really hold the extra. So I'm not gonna really go overboard. I don't think we've gotten any tech mats from this mine or field. See, like this guy right here, he's just using the harvesters. But as a result, we're not getting tech mats. I don't know if you were here. I was talking with this Daniel, who might be still here, and I was telling him. I said the problem with a lot of our guys here is that a lot of people that have been swooping have burnt out, and as a result, a lot of people that were swooping are now just using the harvesters and like the mines and stuff. So, So because of that, our tech mat influx has dropped because everyone's just tired. They just wanna get the scraps instead of having the scraps be a benefit to the tech mats. So I foresee that being a big problem. At least in these two hexes, that's all I've been seeing. There's a few guys like these guys that are helping with scooping, but like a lot of them I've noticed have been having that have been kind of backing off of that. Oh, this guy commended me. Okay, I'm gonna commend you then. Where are you? Oh, here we go. So we definitely had a slowdown in the amount of tech mats, but we're also only getting aluminum from these two hexes. Not getting any iron. So. I think a lot of people got really burnt out because last war was like pretty terrible. Oh, yeah, a lot of people stealing from your bases. We haven't really had that too much. I had a lot of encounters with that. Our main depot, last war I was in Basin Sionek. Oh, this one's got a lot of really good component fields this war. And oh my gosh, the amount of people trying to steal shit was so terrible. But we got a lot of people that burn out from last war. And I said the reason why I think especially in my group, and the reason why a lot of people in my group I think got burnt out is because a lot of people were like a logistics faction. Most people, all they like to do is just play logistics, don't like to fight. And so because of that, they're not like changing up their game play style and like doing some fun stuff. Well, not that they don't find it fun, they're not doing other things. So they're not seeing the product of their labor. So they're just like farming, not seeing the results because all they're doing is they just throw it into a bin and then keep scrapping and then throw it into a bin and keep scrapping and they're just like, I'm done. Well, you can't do that. That's like, if you're not seeing the products of your labor and having fun with them and trying out other stuff, you're gonna get so burnt out. Some people said they like feel it as like an unconscious, like a therapeutic sort of thing. So they just put on music, just drive around and do like the same, like turn their brain off, kind of. I don't know. I don't really like that. I like the active sort of thing, which is why I'm not a big fan of this. It has to be done so I can get my gunpowder. This seaport is such trash. There's like 6 different big clans that are trying to use it, and it is just packed 24/7. It is awful. God. Now we're stuck. I can't do anything, dude. You think this is bad? Go down by the water at the seaport and there's like a line of 10+ people waiting to like, hop on the crane. All with flatbeds. It's non-stop. So terrible. Beep. Alright, let me do a quick calculation. So we have 1,400 gunpowder. We're gonna get roughly 900 more off of that. So I think we're good. Let's throw it into B-mats. Let's throw it into B-mats. How about that? Oops, didn't mean to do that. Oops, let's package. Throw it onto here. Also, there's so much waste in this game Like, okay, last war, this is like my favorite thing that I'd love to comment on. Last war, when we were losing base in Sonek, like the last grid that was gonna just solidify the end for us, the frickin' seaport had so many hundreds of thousands of items and tanks and gunboats and machine guns and explosives worth of shit that just was all lost, that just sat in the seaport like the whole war because people didn't take it out because they were private stocks or they were made, but there were no logistic people to bring them to the front because so many people want to make stuff, but they don't want to bring it to the front. There was so much just all that. Think about that. Like all those human hours that were just wasted that could have been doing something else because people just don't, you don't do anything with it. Like, God, man, like make something that people need, take it up to the front, or use it yourself, and then go make more. That was just wasting your time. And that kind of stuff happens. That was at least several thousand hours combined of stuff that was just like, because that was a huge port. And that's public. That's not even all the private stuff that was locked away. It was massive stockpiles. We couldn't even get it all out. We decided, well, I was trying to take stuff out, and then like multiple clans were like, nah, we're not taking stuff out. We're fighting here till the end. I'm like, that's a stupid decision. That's my opinion. But yeah. So it was all lost. They're like, now we're just gonna, if the place falls and we lose all this stuff, then we lose all this stuff. I'm like, we have like 8 hours to evacuate this stuff. They're like, no. I'm like, okay. Traffic is never that bad for us, but we get buildups now and then, but it's stalled. Anymore film didn't have any resources that were wasted. Yeah, there's so much wasted stuff, but whatever, it's not my problem. I don't waste my stuff. I have like nothing sitting in my seaport. I always move stuff. And I don't want my stuff to be wasted. Some people just don't care. They're about producing stuff. They don't really care what happens to it. They just want to produce. A lot of waste. I agree with you, though. I do agree with you. And I think it depends on every region, right? Like some regions are constantly running out of stuff because the people are like that mentality. They're always moving stuff. And then some just like stockpile. Like one of my guys who's working in Tyne, all the way up here, he said that the seaport has like 246 crates of mammons. Someone just put some on a boat, so it's down to 40, but there were 246. He was like, bro, when are we gonna move that stuff? Like, that's actually a bit too much. Considering that mammons aren't the best, there are other grenade types we could really use right now with that gunpowder. They're good for destroying buildings, but like, and maybe impacting tanks. But that's not really our biggest problem right now. It's mostly infantry. You better invest that in A3 fragmentation grenades. I don't know all the systems, Cat. I don't know what works is compared to Seagull. I'm not totally sure. But I'm sure I know that the loss is definitely it was supply based. There's just way too much resource waste. There's just way too much. I don't know the difference between the two though. I'm not very keen on all that. Oops, I didn't mean to. I'm brand new to the game. Like I said, I joined in 2 days late to the last war, and since then I've been playing, and this is my only experience. Whoops. I want to go in the crane. Oh my god. The crane. Oh, it wasn't deployed. Who took this? Whatever. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with fighting. I think it's. Although I will say, one thing that does have to do with fighting, why we lost, and like there were two. I made a comment on this on Robert Loves Games, the guy who does like all the. He was asking for like stuff on like war for the Wardens, like based on 116, like people that fought in certain places. And I said one of the biggest issues I encountered when I was fighting as a tanker in base in Sonak, there were me and three other people that were constantly fighting. But twice, I absolutely hate this. There are these LARPing clans with tanks, right? And they came in with like 12 tanks and we're like, all right, boys, we're going to win the war. I've heard other people talk about this too. And we pushed. I'll show you exactly what happened. We're right here. We lost Lamplight. We're going to lose Stoic. We were sitting. We've cleared them all out, me and three other guys in vehicles. Cleared this, finally crossed the bridge and got like a bulb right here we were pushing. So these guys came with 12 tanks, cleared the entire region, and pushed them all the way to Hungry Wolf. Okay? Then, then they immediately once they got here, they like were posting global celebrating, we won the war, we saved us from imminent defeat. All 12 of them together turned tail, backed out their tanks, and all hopped off the game. And within less than 30 minutes, the enemy pushed us all the way back to here because the enemy knew that there was a huge tank regiment. So you guys grabbed all your tanks to meet us, which is the logical thing to do, and pushed us all the not just all the way back to Lamplight, but also started a new offensive on Stoke with tanks. And we had no way to defend against it except for myself was in a tank. We had two APCs and one other group that was in an armored car. And so we just got steamrolled. It's like it's so dumb. Like it doesn't help the LARP. It doesn't help anyone that they did that because they just immediately abandoned their post and we lost everything all over again. Um, Convoy me and another guy. Maybe Chase. I'm trying to do a little bit of like scooping right now, but if you guys are still doing it in a little bit, then I would join you. Works is the union that enforces Warden Logi system. They govern your faction or alliance of the five largest Warden regiments. Oh, maybe. Siegel governs the colonial system. They're an alliance of the five largest colonial regiments. They run the colonials. They govern where resources get sent and what they're used for. Oh, yeah, I don't really care about all that stuff. I understand that for people to listen to that, it's probably a huge problem. But to be fair, like we're one of the largest public suppliers of stuff like FMAT, this group I'm in, and no one listens to that. Everyone's just like whatever is needed, wherever it's needed, they like equally balance stuff and immediately get it to where it's supposed to go. So, but yeah, I mean, maybe some people that are like actually doing large group offensives, that's probably a big reason behind it. And logistically speaking, for like, also, I heard that they like dictate what clans get what for like on the map where resources are. And all these frickin' people will like make private bases and block these resources off and not dedicate them to the public stockpile. So yeah, I think you're totally right. I think you're totally right. It's probably a big reason behind it. But God, yeah, I just hate the LARPer groups so much. They do more harm than good. Like, you clear out, like they'll clear out. The same thing happened last day of the war. Where was it? Here at Mercy. Was it Mercy? Wait, no, it was. I think it was here. We got to. God, where was it? I think it was this right here at First Coin. The one along like the shore where it's super rocky. I think that was it. I'm pretty sure that's where it was we were fighting. I'm trying to remember. Anyways, they had a clan of like 16 heavy tanks pull up. A lot of them are prototypes and devets, like Silverhand prototypes. And all they did was just sit in a freaking line and try to push up for like hours. They didn't do any damage. They just kind of sat there the whole time and didn't even engage. And then the enemy came up with a bunch of tanks, a separate regiment, because they saw there was a huge tank buildup that they're going to take it. The guys didn't do any damage. And the whole regiment of 16 tanks decided to abandon because they're like, all right, we did our LARP. And then all your guys' tanks steamrolled, and in just a second they were gone, pushed us all the way back across the hex. It's just like, dude, it's so self-destructive. So self-destructive. I mean, people can do what they want, but like, it's no help. No feelings of grandeur, right? Doing nothing. Delusions of grandeur. Yeah, we do, Chase. We're gonna get them soon, though. This tech tree, the next tech tree is sledgehammers that we're working on right now. I'm pretty sure the colonials should get them too on this tech tree. We'll be even. Excuse me, I'm eating breakfast. I do have components though. If you need them, I've got like 400 and something on me. I sat in a mine for hours, like a line at a mine, component mine, for hours the first day, so that I wouldn't have to wait later on. You guys already have sledgehammers? Yeah. Like I said, I think our slowdown is because people just got burnt out and don't want to screw. People are done. People are done, and it's slowing us down. You've seen me. I've been how long have I been on now? Almost 2 hours. I haven't gotten a single piece of aluminum or iron from scrooping. These fields down here are just bad. Like, real bad. Apparently up north to the east, people are getting, like, good fields, but all of them down here are garbage. And tanks, and then a bunch of guys with push-up guns or an armored car, and they send it too far, and they want us up front shooting it. Dude, some people live and die by push guns instead of, like, tanks and stuff. This happened to us in like the last war, and they're like, fuck no, we're not helping you guys in a tank. Push guns are like monumentally better. Your tanks suck ass. We were in an ace tank hunter group. We were in our one prototype, and we'd already gotten 4 confirmed kills with enemy tanks of an equivalent class in ours, and we were playing it smart, and we're like, we're not pushing up for you, you idiots. And they decided to make this stupid clan that was getting pissed off. So they pushed up with their push gun and immediately got fucking like 2-tapped. And they're like, "You damn tanks!" It was like they were there for like hours. I'm like, "You guys are so worthless." Like, you could have a tank that has the same amount of firepower and armor, and you're just getting bombed because you guys are just going up against several tanks. We're completely outnumbered, so we're trying to play it smart. It was us and one other tank versus 6 enemy tanks, and they just wanted to just go all out. It's like some people have no sense of self preservation. Yeah, 3 different directions. It's like that sometimes though, man. It's like that, bad guy. It really is. It really is. It's crazy. Well, hopefully, I mean, if you're storing the components, as long as it's not people putting in private stash holds, and they're actually going to use it to help people, then you guys have a huge advantage right now. But truth be told, if you were gonna, the fact that they're not letting you use tankettes, you're not pushing with those things, I mean, there's no real advantage to having sledgehammers right now, then. Besides turning stuff into concrete, if you're doing that. Which would be a benefit of using composites, but I can't think of like what other benefit you would get besides storing them for later, or maybe using them for tanks, or mass producing logi stuff with the composites. There's not like a huge advantage yet, at least. There will be though in like a day. Because if you're saving those up to invest, you have a huge advantage. Yeah, people can't decide. It's the thing is they just shoot at whatever's closest to them, but there's no strategy behind it, right? Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Does happen, unfortunately. Do, 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 do. Well, we do have the one armored car that shoots grenades right now, but that thing is not really that. This is gonna do nothing against a tankette. I think it's just gonna get wiped. Then Works and Seagull, but right now those two are the largest and calling the shots. They may not replace Works with something else. You can actually go on Discord. Oh, they may want to replace Works with something else. It can actually go on. Oh. Yeah. No, I think the same thing, bad guy. I think that it would be smart to save the R mats for something really good. See what happens. Yeah, I would imagine based off the amount of just waste I've seen that like it's just not a good command about replacing them. Yeah, I don't know all the meta. I never really wanted to get into the meta, like the meta stuff either. When like I used to play a lot of like Ark Survival Evolved, and it was same thing with like mega tribes and like Discord shit, where like mega tribes are like, all right, you guys can have this server. This group's allowed to have this server. This group's gonna go to war with this group. We're not allowed to be a part of alliance. Blah blah blah. It's the same shit with FOXHOLE. Same shit with all these kinds of games. So I'm like whatever. I'm just gonna play, do some fun tank action, frontline action, and ignore all that stuff because it's about having fun. I have an actual life. I need to get involved in all that stuff. Virtual political hierarchy. Just trying to have fun with the game. I can understand it'd be super frustrating if you're just, you know, really like intent on winning and you can't because like some other players refuse to relinquish control. Could definitely be frustrating. I'm glad you guys are letting me know about stuff. More stuff as I go. But I think there's some stuff you just can't learn unless people for a long time explain to you like more meta concepts. Well, right, it is a team game, and there does need to be coordination. However, I know there's a lot of like toxicity that comes up behind like determining what goes where, gets what. That I don't really care for.
Thanks, mate.
Mm-hmm. What's up, chicken? Some plans are outdated or weeks old. Oh, I'm sure. And we'll fail, yeah. Like, if your guys were really smart, you would grab all those tankettes and do a large push right now in, like, multiple areas. Because our defenses are very weak at many of our borders. I just think that's crazy. Like, in what form of modernized warfare are you not using mobilized armor and artillery when the enemy has nothing and is just stuck in trenches right now? Like, what? That's nuts. And, to be fair, some of our troops are like the definition of insanity. Like, we have players, like, I'll be on the front, and I'll see people repeat the same stupid tactic again and again and again, hoping for different results. The definition of insanity. I'm like, dude, you have tried that 9 times in a row now. You just get one-shotted. Like, what are you doing? Go!
Have a new thing?
Oh my god. I think it's funny there's a cultural difference, which is like, you'll get people who are from the UK or some other country, and not all countries like this, and they'll be driving on the left side of the road, like the left-hand side of the road instead of the right hand. And I've seen, like, there was actually on our side, there's a massive fight, like a map post on drive on the right side, drive on the left side of people from different countries that are like, stay off the fucking left side of the road. That's for oncoming traffic. And people are like, no, fuck you. And that's like not. Well, let me see if I can find it. The map post might still be up in global. Let me park in a place where I'm not obstructing the road, and then I'll see if I can find it. And I'll read your message. One sec. I just don't want to block the road since it's so busy here. Is this the refinery? Oh, wait. No. I need to go... Well, I need to go down here anyways. What you up to, chicken? Ah. Okay. We would use the tanks we have now exactly like that, but the higher-ups are playing the long game and think we're going to have another long war like 115, so they want to dig in and build up resources. It doesn't have to be a long war, though, if you just blitzkrieg. Like, that's what I find stupid about that. You could dig in like World War I, or you could just frickin' interwar World War II and just decide to blitz. You know? No, a lot of people that were on Wardens, from my understanding, have switched sides to Colonials this war because they're burnt out, which makes it even worse. And then some people I did hear who have not been playing that are diehard Wardens have some big clans have apparently joined this war so that they can fight back. But let's package it. Yeah, that's really dumb, man. That is dumb. Any push be followed by massive warding. If we have the resources, though, which, to be fair, we don't really have that. Now we do. Like, if you guys would have done that when you guys unlocked the tankettes and stuff, you could have gained some serious ground. But like, now we're starting to mass produce like cutlers and shit. We still don't have concrete bases. Like, no one's really built another. You guys still have that window open right now to do that. It's true there are issues that come with blitzing, but like, you don't have to blitz that much. All you have to do is just like, if you blitzed this, Like, let's say this. You blitz this area and secure the border. If you blitz Stone Cradle, all you guys have to do is take these two and blitz this mainland right here with this. And you're good. You can now attack these are cut off, and you can attack any of these, which is enough victory points to win the war. Like, that's really all you have to do. And they know it. They know it, because look at the #1 global post. We lose this, we lose the war. People are already saying we already lost. Skill issue, about to lose the war then. Like, it's so, like, they knew that from day one. Our high command decided this was going to be where we were going to invest everything. Because I saw this, I heard about this in our Discord. And they're already just screwed up. So, I'm like, whatever. Wait, where's the post? Oh, someone got rid of it. I guess enough people downvoted it. It was like the drive on the right side of the road thing. I wish that was still there, because that was funny. I guess I'll throw these rare mats into the garage, because I can't really do anything with them. They're non-reservable, so... Anyways, I think that's... You really could, like... The more you know, right? Like, if they would have known how much influence they had, like, just hurting the Wardens right now, you could just blitz. All you need to do is fill up some trucks with some... Lots of, tank ammo, and a few fuel runners to keep them fueled, and that's really all you need. I'm not gonna park here, you butt. Hold on. Keep this path clear. It's just signs everywhere. Alright, well, I'm gonna block it for a sec. Sorry. Because, I'm gonna put our armats in here. I've dedicated so many armats already. I've dedicated over 100 armats just to, like, public use. It's like, why not? Ooh, we could make one of these armored cars. What does this one have? 7.92. Bruh, I'm gonna make one of these. This is kind of cool. Oh, wait. Should we... Like, like, they're gonna go anyways, right? So, like, I might as well just make one. Just for the fun of it. So, works by order of Warden High Command invested in Stoker. That sounds like works. Put all your eggs in one basket. Siegel does the same thing. Really? Yeah, last war they kind of did the same thing, too. They invested everything into... I think it was Reaching Trail and Viper Pit. The border between the two. The border between the two they invested everything in. Really dumb move. And we lost. Immediately. We lost that stuff, like, immediately. They always decide, like, I thought it was so dumb. They're like, we're gonna invest everything in this. It was literally, all this was green day one. So you guys pushed, because you guys get the stuff before we do. Everyone's like, oh shit, we're fucked. It's like, yeah. We have a new Logi list. Is there... Oh, you can't view previous messages. I wanted to view the previous messages to see. Guess you can't. This looks like a shit vehicle, but oh well. At least we own one. Oh, wow. Oh wait, you know what we should do? Let me donate the rest. Donate. Public use. Beep beep. I'll be back. Don't take my truck. I'm just trying to put this into the port. Oh, this is actually fast. I like this. Cement vehicle. Because, like, we're gonna lose the R mats anyways, because there's none reservable, so you might as well just, like, freaking... some... And apparently we've already had alts in this port, like, driving shit off into the water, so that's great. I'm not building a gunboat now. I am waiting until... I'm not doing a prototype. Fuck that. I'm waiting until we have an actual gunboat. The prototypes are so much weaker. Screw that. I'm waiting until we have an actual one. Beep. We're dumping Buckler? Where the fuck is that? Apparently something just happened. We're dumping Buckler. We just lost the only anti-tank bunker base. Where is that? Okay, well, hold on. Let me, before I start looking at the map, let me get rid of this so I'm not blocking the port. See, everyone's panicking because we don't have anything to counter your guys' tanks and shit. Let me in. Oh my god. We have so much stuff that's just like blocking our port. I'm gonna move this so I can actually see. Okay. Let's submit this. Too far to enter. Bruh. Then who made this shit? Hold on. Who put this here? God. Someone just obviously parked it and was like, oh, this will help to have a second crane. But it's too far. Okay. Submit loading area equipment. Now we're good. Now we can submit our truck. We still don't have enough, like, public flatbeds to just, like, submit it publicly. We don't even have enough dune loaders. People are stealing those, apparently, so... You guys might win, you never know. Maybe. Maybe if we have a good push once we get our tanks and shit, but I don't know. Frontline refinery, where? Oh, right there. Like, they invested in so many Frontline refineries, 2 of them. So, like, we can't lose this RPG fast. Enemy tanks. See? You guys could push here. Do that. Tankettes pushing up. See, you guys do have tanks pushing up. They're ignoring the orders. They're pushing in. I think that's smart. Upvote to avoid another Dunkirk. You guys have a tankette pushing our lodge. You guys have a bunch of stuff going on. Another Dunkirk. French propaganda. Yeah. We'll see. Alright. Well, I think we're gonna take a break from this game for right now. Before I hop off, I do want to see what our tech tree's at. See if we made any progress. Probably not that much progress, but I do want to see what we got. Oh, there it is. Wait. Oh, it's right there. Just abandoning resource containers and stuff. Someone got a motorboat right there somehow. How'd they get it behind? Huh. Let's see. We gotta go. I think our engineering center is to the right. There it is. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, we're about halfway. A little under. LMG light vehicle. Well, once we get the push gun, it'll help. See, look how far away we are. This will help a lot. Advanced construction vehicle. Look, we don't even get the the gallant until down here. I mean, you guys have such an advantage. You have 30 millimeter armor that can move like for days until we get something. So I would just move on it. So all we have is White Flask, and we have Cutler. Now, if we can mount these, I think our only once we get the Ronin will be a little bit of help, but once we get the APC, the motor carriage with the Cutlers on it, then that'll help big time. That'll be like basically the equivalent of your 30 millimeters. But once we get the ATR, that'll be a big stopping point. But we're still talking days out on some of these things, so yeah. Uh, let's see. This would be cool to have these. The light frigate, that'd be cool. A long hook. How much does the long hook need to create? Everyone's waiting on the train. Everyone wants the train. Everyone wants the train for some reason. Everyone's like super invested into making like a cross hex like train network that I guess our group is like on board with. Like, guys, this seems like a lot of time invested on something. Oh, all right. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out. I think I actually might clean some stuff up and then take a little bit of a nap. I got up really early, like 3 this morning, because I just couldn't sleep. But I will be back on in a bit. I want to maybe play like some War Thunder or something for a little bit of a break. I was playing Battlefield 1 earlier, but I don't really want to do that. I'd rather maybe play some War Thunder. Chicken, are you gonna stream? You gonna do anything? Let me know. I'll keep an eye out. Love to catch one of your streams. But it was nice meeting you, Kat. Um, and Daniel, and seeing you, bad guy, and everyone else who stopped through. Appreciate it. Teaching me some things. And I hope we catch you guys again. It's cool having like people from both sides of the war in, like talking about it, because like I'm totally cool with anyone being in. I don't care about like hiding map stuff. I really don't, because like people are that dedicated and like whatever. But I just like hearing everyone's stories and hanging out with people because we're all here to play the same game. So, something happened on your end, you're not going to stream? Well, okay, no problem. Um, but yeah, probably be back with some more Thunder or something. A little bit more fast paced without like all the grind. I love helping, but our region just does not have any scrap fields or anything that can contribute. So it's kind of just like nothing we can really do. Oh, we don't have the machine gun pillbox yet. You know, maybe the wars go at a different pace every time. Maybe this war's slower. I don't know how that if the devs change it, but when I joined last time, only 2 days into the war, we already had this stuff. Like we already had sledgehammers, um, and gunships unlocked that weren't prototypes. So I don't know if this is just a slower war or what. I'm like 4 days in, I was already making like these, so I guess that makes sense. But it feels like maybe this is like a slower tech progressing war. I don't know. I remember this is already unlocked, so it feels like this is just going slower. Or maybe we're just screwed. Maybe you guys are ahead and we're just like people are not screwed enough. I don't know. Anyway.